Non-conference play is over, and now the Roos can turn their focus to a CUSA championship. UMKC was eager to stay undefeated in conference play. A pair of wins over Louisiana Tech and Southern Mississippi would go a long way to putting a stranglehold on the division race. Coach Paylor has had his staff hitting the recruiting trail hard so far this year. Luckily for them, they don't have to go far. The entire 2019 class is from Missouri and Kansas, with most of them hailing from the metro area. The win over Rice was important because most of the recruits were in the pouch of ouch to see the beatdown. Stay tuned for later in the show to find out who the Roos are going to bring in the pouch. UMKC got all they wanted from the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs in the first game. The Roos were lucky to be only down 3 points at halftime. The offense only managed 14 points, and the defense made a few key stops. Ryan Willis was taking sacks instead of throwing interceptions.
Rolling right, there's the pressure, rolls right into it once again, loses 12 more.
A fumble early in the second half led to another Bulldog touchdown, and the 3-point deficit quickly ballooned to 17.
Fourth down once again from the 14. Pressure gets it away to Bonnet for an easy touchdown.
Right after the touchdown, Dante Jackson came to the Roos' rescue yet again.
Roos will need something big from Dante Jackson here to set up field position. He'll get it from the 5-yard line. He's actually got a couple blocks this time. He runs into a man, but he still gets away. He's got that speed. For the third time this season, he takes it to the house. It's exactly what the Gridiron Roos offense needed.
Then, in the fourth quarter, Jackson made his presence known on defense.
Smith looking downfield. Pressure comes from Dante Jackson. Sack. Fumble picked up by Cody Bell. No one in front of him. He's going to go all the way for the touchdown.
The Roos offense came alive in the second half and moved the ball whenever they had it. With just under 4 minutes left in the game and a 4-point lead, Willis rolled out.
No pressure. Got a man over the middle. Kendall Blanton in the end zone. Reaches the right hand out. Snags it out of the air. The highlight touchdown catch. Roos lead by 10.
Blanton's one-handed catch wouldn't be the last talking point of the night. With Louisiana Tech facing 4th and long and down 11, it looked like the game was in hand. The refs had other ideas.
It's going to be very questionable. Looks like he's out the back of the end zone. Coach Paylor has to challenge this one.
Not only did the Bulldogs get the 2-point conversion, but they recovered the onside kick as well. That just means Cody Bell got to make his second game-saving play of the night.
The hero of the day with the fumble return for a touchdown earlier.
No time to rest with the Golden Eagles coming to town. The only thing Saturday's games had in common was a Roo victory. The defense came to play right from the opening kick against Southern Miss.
All sorts of options, not much time. Gets it away quickly. Gerard Alton goes up and makes the interception.
The running game, which never got going against the Bulldogs, ran all over the Golden Eagles, with both Webb and Brooks scoring.
5-yard line. It'll be a handoff to Phillip Brooks. Walks into the end zone.
The star of the night was Eli Ross with 4 sacks, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery.
Eli Ross got there first. Eli Ross picks up the fumble, doing it all for the Roos defense.
It wasn't all fun and games, however. Halfway through the third quarter, Ivan Webb took a big hit and limped off the field. His backup, Cornelius Ruff IV, filled in admirably, but it just shows how important depth is.
It'll be Cornelius Ruff for his first touchdown for UMKC.
Bringing in good recruits will be vital to building on the early success of this program. The Gridiron isn't the only place the Roos are making a name for themselves this season. Coach Therese Paylor and his staff are turning heads on the recruiting trail as well. Paylor said from the beginning that he was going to lock down the Kansas City Metro, and so far he's doing just that. RooRampage.com's R.W. McGillicuddy is here to break down some of UMKC's top targets in the 2019 class.
Well, Graham Mertz is a guy that UMKC got in on really early. They were actually in on him back when he was still at Bishop Miege, before he even transferred to Blue Valley North. This is a quarterback that they have kind of had the upper hand on. Being here locally, they've been able to really develop a relationship with him. Widely considered one of the best pro-style quarterbacks in the 2019 class at 6'3", 205 pounds. You know, he's a guy that's going to be able to sling it all over the field. Danielson Ike, you know, another just monster recruit and a monster human being at 6'6", over 300 pounds from Rockhurst. Another one of these kids that, you know, Rockhurst is one of those pedigree programs that, you know, UMKC has really gotten in on from the jump. That's a school that they really want to develop a good pipeline with, and I think getting Danielson Ike will be huge for the Roos. This is a 4-star prospect that you know, was very important for them to get. He's a possible first-year starter if he can come in and develop well. I was able to talk to the UMKC offensive line coach. He was actually on the sidelines in one of Rockhurst's last wins against Blue Valley. Just an absolute domination by Danielson Ike on the in the trenches against the Tigers. Etinosa Rubin, 6'3", 275-pound defensive lineman. The great thing about him that it's attracted so many big-name programs like Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, among others, is he's a guy that is able to slide inside and outside. You know, they use him as a strong side defensive end at the high school ranks, but, you know, from the insiders that I've talked to, it sounds like the Roos might be able to use him both at defensive tackle and on the edge as a pass rusher, because, you know, even though he's about 275 pounds, he still has the burst and the speed to really get off and create some havoc. Clyde Price is a guy that really excites me personally, and I know that there are a lot of coaches that are really starting to grow on him. He has had an unbelievable start to his senior season. This is a guy that a lot of smaller school coaches have told me that they're surprised more SEC schools aren't in on him, and I think he's going to be maybe the big sleeper and prize winner for this 2019 UMKC class. Jaden Russell has long been considered one of the best defensive backs in all the Metro since he was probably a freshman, definitely since his sophomore year, out of St. Thomas Aquinas, 6'2", 180 pounds. This is a kid that can play safety, he can play corner. And you know what? I got to see him early on in his senior year, and he's put on some weight, put on some muscle, hasn't lost a whole lot of speed, but man, he's a hitter. You know, Kansas State, Iowa State, they were in on him heavy early. You know, he came down, performed at some of their camps, and for whatever reason, maybe some of those Big 12 schools decided to back off. It's going to be their loss, guys, because we're talking about a player that's a borderline 4-star recruit here that's going to end up falling in UMKC's lap. He is a guy that you can really build a defense around. He's got some serious swagger. He's going to be the type of player with that, you know, dark visor. He's going to have all the swag on from a uniform standpoint. He's going to be a fan favorite. I got a real feeling that the crowd is really going to embrace him once he gets on campus.
We'll have RW back on to preview next season as players start to commit. As always, catch the Roos' next games on UMKCfootball.com. The University of Texas San Antonio game kicks off at 10 a.m. Saturday, September 29th, followed by a huge matchup with Middle Tennessee State at 8 p.m.